When the meeting broke up, the devotees sauntered in the temple garden. It was about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. After a while, he returned to the master's room. There, on the small north veranda, he witnessed an amazing sight. Sri Ramkrishna was standing still, surrounded by a few devotees. Narendra was singing. M had never heard anyone except the master sing so sweetly. When he looked at Sri Ramkrishna, he was struck with wonder, for the master stood motionless with eyes transfixed. He seemed not even to breathe. A devotee told M that the master was in samadhi. M had never before seen or heard of such a thing. Silent with wonder, he thought, is it possible for a man to be so oblivious of the outer world in the consciousness of God? How deep must be his faith and devotion to bring about such a state? Narendra was singing, meditate, O my mind, on the Lord Hari, the stainless one, pure spirit through and through. How peerless is the light that shines in him. How soul bewitching is his wondrous form. How dear is he to all his devotees. Even more beauteous in fresh blossoming love that shames the splendor of a million moons. Like lightning gleams the glory of his form, raising erect the hair for every joy. The master shuddered when this last line was sung. His hair stood on end and tears of joy streamed down his cheeks. Now and then his lips parted in a smile. Was he seeing the peerless beauty of God that shames the splendor of a million moons? Was this the vision of God, the essence of spirit? How much austerity and discipline, how much faith and devotion must be necessary for such a vision? The song went on. Worship his feet in the lotus of your heart, with mind serene and eyes made radiant with heavenly love. Behold that matchless sight. Again that bewitching smile, the body motionless as before, the eyes half shut, as if beholding a wonderful inner vision. The song drew to a close. Narendra sang the last lines. Caught in the spell of his love's ecstasy, immerse yourself for evermore, O mind, in him who is pure knowledge and pure bliss. The sight of the samadhi and the divine bliss he had witnessed left an indelible impression on M's mind. He returned home deeply moved. Now and then he could hear within himself the echo of those soul-intoxicating lines. Immerse yourself for evermore, O mind, in him who is pure knowledge and pure bliss. The next day too was a holiday for M. He arrived at Dakshineshwar at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Sri Ramkrishna was in his room. Narendra, Bhavnath and a few other devotees were sitting on a mat spread on the floor. They were all young men of 19 or 20. Seated on the small couch, Sri Ramkrishna was smiling, talking with them. No sooner had M entered the room than the master laughed aloud and said to the boys, there he comes again. They all joined in the laughter. M bowed low before him and took a seat. Before this he had saluted the master with folded hands, like one with an English education. But that day he learned to fall down at his feet in orthodox Hindu fashion. Presently the master explained the cause of his laughter to the devotees. He said, a man once fed a peacock with a pill of opium at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The next day, exactly at that time, the peacock came back. It had felt the intoxication of the drug and returned just in time to have another dose. All laughed. M considered this as an apt illustration. Even at home, he had been unable to banish the thought of Sri Ramkrishna for the moment. His mind was constantly at Dakshineshwar and he had counted the minutes until he should go there again. In the meantime, the master was having great fun with the boys, treating them as if they were his most intimate friends. Peals of side-splitting laughter filled the room, as if it were a mart of joy. The whole thing was a revelation to M. He thought, didn't I see him only yesterday intoxicated with God? Wasn't he swimming then in the ocean of divine love? A sight I had never seen before. And today, the same person is behaving like an ordinary man. Wasn't it he who scolded me on the first day of my coming here? Didn't he admonish me saying, and you are a jnani? Wasn't it he who said to me that God with form is as true as God without form? Didn't he tell me that God alone is real and all else illusory? Wasn't it he who advised me to live in the world unattached, like a maidservant in the rich man's house? Sri Ramkrishna was enjoying the company of the young devotees now and then he glanced at M. He noticed that M sat in silence. The master said to Ramlal, You see, he is a little advanced in years and therefore somewhat serious. He sits quiet while the youngsters are making merry. M was then about 28 years old. The master said to Narendra and M, I should like to hear you speak and argue in English. They both laughed, but they continued to talk in their mother tongue. It was impossible for M to argue any more before the master. Though Sri Ramkrishna insisted, they did not talk in English. At 5 o'clock in the afternoon, all the devotees except Narendra and M took leave of the master. As M was walking in the temple garden, he suddenly came upon the master, talking to Narendra on the bank of the goose pond. Sri Ramkrishna said to Narendra, Look here, come a little oftener. You are a newcomer. On first acquaintance, people visit each other quite often, as in the case with a lover and his sweetheart. Narendra and M laugh. So please come, won't you? Narendra, member of the Brahmo Samaj, was very particular about his promises. He said with a smile, I shall try. As they were returning to the master's room, Sri Ramkrishna said to M, When peasants go to the market to buy bullocks for their plows, they can easily tell the good from the bad by touching their tails. On being touched there, some meekly lie down on the ground. The peasants at once recognize that these are without mettle and so reject them. They select only those bullocks that frisk about and show spirit when their tails are touched. Narendra is like a bullock of this latter class. He is full of inner spirit. The master smiled as he said this and continued. There are some people who have no grit whatever. They are like flattened rice soaked in milk, soft and mushy, no inner strength. It was dusk. The master was meditating on God. He said to M, Go and talk to Narendra, then tell me what you think of him. Evening worship was over in the temples. M met Narendra on the bank of Ganges and they began to converse. Narendra told M about his studying in college, his being a member of Brahmo Samaj, and so on. It was now late in the evening and time for M's departure, but he felt reluctant to go and instead went in search of Sri Ramkrishna. He had been fascinated by the master's singing and wanted to hear more. At last he found the master pacing alone in the Nat Mandir in front of the Kali temple. Lamps were burning in the shrine room on either side of the image of the Divine Mother. A single lamp in the spacious Nat Mandir blended light and darkness into a kind of mystic twilight, in which the figure of the master could be dimly seen. M had been enchanted by the master's sweet music. With some hesitation he asked him whether there would be any more singing that evening. No, not tonight, said Ramakrishna after a little reflection. Then as if remembering something he added, But I am going soon to Balram's Bose's house in Calcutta. Come there and you will hear me sing. M agreed to go. Master, do you know Balram Bose? M, no sir, I don't. Master, he lives in Bosepara. M, well sir, I shall find him. As Sri Ramkrishna walked up and down the hall with M, he said to him, Let me ask you something. What do you think of me? M remained silent. Again Sri Ramkrishna asked, What do you think of me? What percentage of the knowledge of God do I possess? M, I don't know exactly what you mean by percentage, but of this I am sure. Never before I have seen such knowledge, such ecstatic love, such faith in God, such renunciation and such liberality anywhere. The master laughed. M bowed low before him and took his leave. He had gone as far as the main gate of the temple garden when he suddenly remembered something and came back to Sri Ramkrishna, who was still in the Nat Mandir. In the dim light, the master, all alone, was pacing the hall, rejoicing in the self, as the lion lives and roams alone in the forest. In silent wonder, M surveyed that great soul. Master, to M, What makes you come back? M, Perhaps the house you asked me to go to belongs to a rich man. They may not let me in. I think I had better not go. I would rather meet you here. Master, Oh no, why should you feel like that? Just mention my name. Say that you want to see me. Then someone will take you to me. M nodded his assent and after saluting the master, took his leave.